Okay, so what if I told you that one of the absolute biggest stars on YouTube is a Buddhist monk? I know, it sounds kind of like a paradox, right? But that's exactly what we're going to unpack in this explainer, how an ancient tradition totally blew up and found this massive audience in our super modern, super digital world. I mean, seriously, in an age where we have all the information in the universe right in our pockets, millions of people are choosing to tune in to one person for guidance, Pomnyon Sunim. So why? Why are people from all over the world listening? What is his secret?
Well, for starters, this isn't his first rodeo. He has an unbelievable amount of practice. We're talking over 12,000 public Q&A sessions. Just stop and think about that for a second. Imagine all the human problems he's heard. That vast experience is really the foundation of his entire approach.
So let's talk about how he got here. His journey to becoming this internet sensation wasn't some grand plan. Nope. It all started with these live public events that just happened to be recorded and then shared online. But their real power was in their format.
It's a format called Jekmunjeksel, which literally means instant question, instant talk. The whole idea is so simple but so powerful. Anyone, and I mean anyone, can just stand up and ask about whatever's really troubling them. A fight with your spouse, anxiety about your career, confusion about world events, you name it, nothing is off limits. But here's the twist. His answers, well, they're not really answers at all.
And this, right here, gets to the absolute core of his philosophy. See, he believes that just giving someone a simple solution doesn't actually solve their problem. Instead, he does something way more profound. He explains it perfectly himself. He sees his role as a mirror. In his words, I have never given an answer. The questioner becomes self-aware by seeing their own anguish reflected. So instead of just handing out advice, he asks questions. He gently probes and pokes until people start to see the contradictions in their own thinking, until they see the source of their own suffering. The goal isn't a quick fix, it's deep self-awareness. Okay, so let's get practical. Let's look at a real-world example. We all have those people in our lives, right? The ones who just drive us up the wall? Well, Sunim has this brilliantly simple way of reframing that whole problem. He does this thing with his audiences a lot. So let's try it right now. If you're a cat person, if you like cats, raise your hand. Go ahead. Okay. See? A whole bunch of you do. All right. Now what about those of you who don't like cats? Raise your hands. See? A bunch of other people feel the exact opposite way. So tell me, is the cat a good cat or a bad cat? Neither, right? It's just a cat. The difference isn't in the cat, it's in you. And boom, that right there illustrates his incredibly practical definition of karma. It's not some big, scary, cosmic scoreboard of good deeds and bad deeds. For him, karma is just our accumulated habits, our tendencies, our preferences. The food you love, the kind of people you're drawn to, and yeah, that person at work who makes your skin crawl, that feeling, that's your karma. It's about you, not them. And here's the big takeaway. Your dislike for someone doesn't actually make them a bad person. It's just a reflection of your own internal programming. Now, realizing this isn't going to magically make you like them, but it can free you from all that anger. You can just notice the feeling and think, there's my karma, reacting to their karma. And that changes everything. So, okay, that's how we can shift our view of other people. But what about the battles we fight inside our own heads? What does this philosophy say about those painful memories or anxious thoughts that we just can't seem to shake? For this, Sunim uses another really powerful metaphor. He says your mind is like a video player. And way too often, we keep hitting replay on the same painful video. A bad breakup, a failure at work, that one super embarrassing moment. You feel stuck, but he says you actually have 3 choices. So, choice number 1 is the default mode for most of us. Just keep watching the painful video. Just keep suffering. Choice 2 is to actively turn the video off. When that thought pops up, you make a conscious decision to change your mental channel. And choice 3, which he says comes with deeper practice, is to essentially erase the video's power, to take away its emotional charge for good. You know, ultimately, he says our suffering is a lot like being trapped in a nightmare. We're terrified, we're screaming for help, we think the monsters chasing us are real, but they're not. The suffering feels real, for sure, but it's all happening inside an illusion our own mind has created. And the solution, while it's not always easy, is incredibly simple. Just wake up. Just open your eyes to what's actually here, right now. All right, let's get to his most memorable and maybe his most profound metaphor. This is his advice on how to handle pretty much any mistake, any failure, or any piece of bad luck life decides to throw at you. He says a mistake or a painful event is, well, it's like poop. Yeah, you heard me right. Think about it. If you have poop in your living room, it's just filth, it smells awful, it's a huge problem, you just want it gone, right? But what if you take that exact same poop and put it out in a field? Suddenly, it's not filth anymore. It's fertilizer. It's this amazing resource that helps new things grow, making the whole field richer than it was before. See? The event itself isn't good or bad. Its value depends entirely on where you put it and how you decide to use it.
And this isn't just some clever saying for him. He actually lives this philosophy. He takes the world's poop, things like famine, illiteracy, conflict, environmental waste, and he turns it into fertilizer through all these organizations he's founded. JTS provides international aid. The Peace Foundation works on political conflicts. EcoBuddha tackles environmental problems. He's constantly taking suffering and putting it in a context where it can be used for growth.
So in the end, the choice is always ours. When something goes wrong in our lives, we can let it sit there in the living room of our minds where it's just going to stink and cause pain, or we can choose to carry it out to the field and use it as fuel for our own growth. And that really just leaves us with one final question to think about. What misfortune in your life, big or small, are you ready to turn into fertilizer?